Hi Ashley, it's Sheila. Just wanted to give you a quick little scope update. I know we talked on the phone about backloading the scope and how to help the surgeon get a little bit better visualization. So I'm going to go through just some basics here. First off, this is your bridge. This is where the needle is going to come through here, and then of course this is going to attach to the scope itself. This has a little bit more of an angle than I'd like, but sometimes you just have to work with what you've got. Then this is the sheath. This sheath is a 21. It describes the outer diameter of the sheath. Anywhere between like an 18 and a 22 should work fine. If you get too small, the needle's not going to fit well. If you get too big, the needle's going to flop around and also cause some issues. And then of course this is the lens. This is a 30-degree lens, and it's going to be pointing downward 30 degrees. Sometimes the surgeons prefer a 0-degree lens, that way they're looking straight out and through the urethra. Sometimes they like just a slight angle down, which is a 12-degree, but you never want to be any more than a 30-degree. And then of course this is what's called the obturator. This is what they just initially put through there. It's got a blunt tip just to help the scope slide smoothly through the urethra, but then they take it out, and you don't have to have one. It doesn't serve necessarily any great purpose. And then of course I've got my MRN 420 needle here. Most of them will prefer that. Of course it is a smaller, thinner needle, which means it's more flexible, but also with the increased flexibility comes more fragility, so it can break and snap. I always tell the tech, whoever's helping the surgeon, hang on to the gun for dear life until the surgeon has it in their hands, very snug and secure, and they wave you off and say, I got it. So let me go ahead and get to business here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bridge, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to thread the lens. So the 0 to 30-degree lens, I'm going to thread through there. May not be very gracefully by any means, but let me see if I can get it through there. Okay, so the lens is going in. And I'm just going to snap that on. Okay. Then instead of putting my sheath over the lens, which is what I should do next, I'm going to go ahead and put the needle through first. And this is what I refer to as the backloading, or you might hear back ending and so forth. So what this is going to accomplish is, if you have a really, really tight, so maybe you do have, let's say, a 17.5 or an 18, and the lens just will not go through while you have the sheath on, or the needle will not go through while you have the sheath on, you can backload it. So once you push it through, then of course it's going to kind of hang out. The surgeon will have to pinch the two together. So instead of it flopping around, pinch them together, and then you can load both of them into the scope itself. Don't know if I can do this with one hand, but I'm going to try it and kind of see how it goes. Okay, so now both are in there, and I'm able to basically put it together that way. And then that's what basically refers to backloading the scope, is putting that needle in first and then sliding the sheath over.